Hey, welcome back everybody. So I did one of these videos last year for the jobber grants, and somebody from this channel actually won a jobber grant by watching the video and following the instructions. So I'm really going to impress upon you guys. If you will listen to this, apply for the grant with the information that I'm giving you here, very good chance that you could end up winning one of these grants or at least making it to the finals. So if you'll follow me through here, go ahead and open up your application. There is a link provided here in the description of this video for you to open up that link on the application, and I suggest you watch this video and fill out the application at the same time, question by question. It's going to be super easy. I'm going to tell you what to say, and I'm going to tell you how to say it. You're going to have to modify that to your business, but I'm going to give you the gist of what to say and how to say it. So go ahead and pause the video right now, open up the description of this video, click on that link, and get your application going in another tab. And just swap back and forth from the video to the application and fill this out step by step. It's not going to take long at all. Alright, question number 1. Do you reside in the US or Canada excluding Quebec? I hope you do, because that's the answer you have to give is yes. Now question number 2, very simple. Please confirm that you currently own or plan to own a home services business sometime in the near future, if not already. The answer to that must be yes in order to be eligible. Question number 3 is just simply select your industry. There are no wrong answers here. All of the industries listed are viable industries for you to select, so go ahead and select your industry. And then moving on to question number 4, how many years have you been in service? Of course, there is no wrong answer to this one either. In fact, you don't even have to be an actual business right now. You can just be planning your business for the future, and this is still a viable option for you. They do give out grants literally every single year to people who have not even started their business yet. Now, question number 5 is where we really dive into the meat of this, which is going to be for you to tell them about your business. This is where we're going to get into all the detail. I do want you to notice that there's a 1,000-character limit, so if you're using ChatGPT or some other software to help you write this, make sure you're keeping it down to 1,000 before you finalize it and transfer it over, because there is a 1,000-character limit. Now, you're going to notice there's kind of 4 options they're looking for. I do suggest that you try to answer to all 4 themes that they're bringing up here, and we'll go through each theme one at a time. However, if there's a particular theme or 2 that you just feel super passionate about, that you've really got your business modeled around, please feel free to go ahead and focus on those instead. But otherwise, try to hit all 4 requirements here. And when you're done, go ahead and run your answers through ChatGPT before you submit. And you don't need to use exactly what ChatGPT gives you, but feed it to ChatGPT, let it do a little bit of editing, and see if you don't like what it says just a little bit better than the way you worded it. So let's go ahead and call this 5-1, which is describing how your services keep homes and offices safe and running smoothly. And what I think you really should focus on here specifically is safety. We want our communities to be safe and healthy. So some of the things that you could do, and this is where you don't need to copy me, you do need to have your own sort of creativity to make this happen. But I think some of the things that you can and should brainstorm and hit on, this can be currently enacted in your business or simply a future plan, is you can do inspections like safety inspections. You can do classes so that you can go to, for let's say for example, an office space and give everybody in the office classes on how to use fire extinguishers or how to find the emergency exits or simply how to run cords and cables in such a way that they're not a trip hazard, but public classes that you're putting on, let's say for businesses. Another thing you can do right up that classes alley is just doing pamphlets that you hand out, and of course doing the actual maintenance. So if you're going to somebody's house and inspecting all of their smoke detectors and replacing the ones that need to be replaced, your business is just being a business, right? You're making money off of doing that, but you're also making homes safer. And if you really want to turn this into a program to help make your community more safe, you could turn it into a program where you offer a special rate for smoke detectors and or other safety issues. You could have a special rate, a special promotion, because you want everyone in your community to be safe, that you're going to do that for a special discounted price, because it's more important to your business than anything else in the world that your clients are always safe. So to close out 5-1, I do want you to brainstorm. Again, you don't have to use my example specifically. Take this to ChatGPT, explain to ChatGPT what the goal is here, and tell ChatGPT about your business and let it help you come up with some of these ideas. Now, moving on to question 5-2, we're going to be talking about how we help hardworking people in our communities build careers. You're going to be the business owner. Hypothetically, this means you're going to be employing people. And by the way, you don't have to employ people to help people in your community build careers, just by the way, and we're going to have some examples here, but some of the ways that you can help your employees build careers, if you have employees, is you can offer a library of books like self-help books, investing books, all types of different books that are going to help people improve their lives and advance their careers. And if you're able, you could offer some tuition reimbursement or at least some paid time off for your employees when they need to go to class to get an education to advance their careers. And of course, you can have a mentorship program. You're the business owner. You've started a business. If you want, you can also mentor the people hired into your business into how they can eventually start their own business or how they can move up into management within your business. And as another example on here, you can have a training and promotion program so that they can advance their career within your company. But put it into a program to where they can have a very clear set of rules, a very black and white path forward. If you'd like to advance your career here with our company, here are the steps you can take. Here's the resources you need to take those steps, and I'll take you through those steps personally, and you and I will grow your career together. That is also a way that your business can help hardworking people in your community build their careers. Now, another thing you can do, and this is whether you have a handyman business, a plumbing business, electrical, pools, mobile dog grooming, doesn't really matter. Your local business can put on classes for the general public to help train the general public into some of these careers that are associated with your business. So, once again, for 5-2 and for all of these, for everything we're doing, please go to ChatGPT or whatever your preferred large language model is. It could be Gemini, it could be any of them. But go to one of your preferred modern large language models, tell them what you're doing, even copy and paste some stuff off of the website, copy and paste the questions, the explanations. Heck, download the transcript to this video and upload the transcript to this video and ask it to simply brainstorm even further with you. But for 5-2, try to come up with some ways that your business is going to help hardworking people in your community advance their careers. And now I'm going to take a second to just reinforce for you, this is a corporation that's putting on this grants program, and this corporation, they've got committees of people they've put together to come up with this criteria. All of their wording is very precise. If they ask you, for example, 5-3, how you run a smooth business, they're specifically asking you how you run a smooth business. They want your answer to be very precisely the exact things that you do to make your business run smooth. So for this particular example here, one of the things, number one, would be any automations and or software. And guess what? This is Jobber who's doing this grant, right? And Jobber makes software. Now, you don't have to use Jobber in order to win a grant, and I have no personal information as to whether they weight anything in that direction. I'm pretty sure they don't, and I'm pretty sure they legally can. But I'm also pretty sure that the person who is making a subjective opinion about your application, if that person works for Jobber and if your application says that you're using Jobber in order to automate and streamline and make your business run more smoothly, if that's the case, I would guess that's going to increase your odds. I can't say for sure, but it makes sense that it probably would. So one of the things you can do to explain how your business runs smooth, you don't say, I use Jobber to make my business run smooth. That doesn't really tell them anything. Outline your actual workflow. Just simply outline, here is how we receive requests. For example, using the request button that Jobber provides us that we can embed onto our website that allows people to click that button and be taken directly into our Jobber software to make a request. So how do you receive requests? How does that request get converted into an estimate? How does that estimate get converted into a job? How does that job get converted into an actual person showing up and doing the work? What are the policies behind sending appointment reminders and stuff to make sure that all of this flows smoothly? Are you using any automations for these appointment reminders? For example, Jobber's automations right there on the app where you can hit that button that says, on my way. Another good way to streamline your business and make it run smoothly might be with your communications. How do you communicate new policies and procedures to your employees? How do your employees communicate with each other throughout the day? And how do you and the other management team and supervisors communicate with your employees and or with your clients throughout the day, and also how do your clients communicate to the business to let them know how good of a job you are or are not doing so that you can improve your business in the future to make it run even more smoothly. And then finally, maybe one last one, something I've seen almost every year it seems, is somebody's using drones to do their business. You really want to bring in anywhere that you're using modern tech to run your business. So if you're using AI, if you're using text-to-image generators, text-to-video generators, if you're using drones, if you're using LiDAR to map the interiors of the homes that you're working on, any modern technology that you're using, whether software or hardware, make sure to throw that in there as well. And like I said, for some reason, they really seem to like people who are using drones. Moving on to 5-4 is giving back to your communities. This one is extremely important to Jobber. They really want to be giving their money when they're handing these grants out to people who are improving their communities, and there's nothing you can do more to show that you care about your community and that you want your community to be a good, safe, healthy community than to give back to that community. So some of the many different ways that you can do this would be perhaps doing classes for the communities. You can go volunteer and just do literal free labor, maybe for other nonprofits in your community who could use a hand. You could do some free labor for the elderly community, for children, for adoption homes, any number of places. You could just simply do free labor. Like I said, you can also put on classes. You can also just, adopt a highway. There's so many ways. So rather than me trying to dive in and tell you literally every single way that I can think of that you can do some sort of community service, this really is the perfect time for you to go to any of your favorite large language models, such as ChatGPT, and just talk to ChatGPT about it. Explain your business and say, hey, here's what we're doing. What types of community service programs would make sense for us to get involved in? And then you basically just need to pick one, put a plan into action, whether you've done it or not. Like I said, all of this stuff that you're putting into here doesn't have to be an existing business that's already doing these things. You can tell them that you're planning on these things as long as you spell them out and spell them out very clearly. They really want to know specifically what you're doing to give back to your community. So a recap for question number 5 is this is really your opportunity to just describe yourself, to pitch yourself, to sell yourself to Jobber as a deserving business for that $10,000 grant. This is where you get to shine, where you get to identify who you are, what you stand for, what your business is all about, and simply do some selling. This is free money, guys. Just take a few minutes to really sit down and think about it. Like I said, use a large language model like ChatGPT to help you with your wording, and this is your chance to pitch yourself, take 30 minutes out of your day, and maybe get 10 grand in reward for that 30 minutes. And finally, what I want to close out with is if you have any additional questions on this and there's something that maybe you're not sure how to word or not sure how to answer, I want you to go ahead and email me at bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com and ask me, and I'll help you out to the extent I can. The only other ask I have from you for this is if and when you do decide to go apply for this grant, please do use my link in the description to do that application. We had a winner last year. I would really love to have 2 winners 2 years in a row for the Jobber Grants program. So with all that being said, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it. Good luck, and I'll see you on the next one.